is a member of the Mice Chat Podcast Network. MicePod.com. Now, the podcast that's nearly the same as all the others.
Warning, this show contains childish adult content and is intended for immature, mature audiences. Listener discretion is advised. The views spoken are ours and ours alone, not those of any other bugger. If you're easily offended, we strongly suggest finding another podcast. Everybody neat and pretty, then on with the show.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
Let's put on the show.
Growing older is mandatory. Growing up is optional. Disafterdark, the podcast that's nearly the same as all the others.
I'll be silent. Hello. Welcome back to us, to Disafterdark. The first episode in a new series, Series 3, Episode 1. I'm Paul.
I'm Nick, soap dish, whatever.
I am still Great British Paul, not Scottish Independent Paul.
Yeah, and that's Craig.
I'm Craig.
Yeah, they know. That was the music that we opened the show with from last series, because we haven't got round to doing it yet, because we need someone who can sing.
We need you.
We need this is like some sort of X Factor, Disafterdark's Got Talent type thing.
Well, that's great, because,
See, keep talking.
I was going to say, I think these kind of X Factor auditioning style things work really well for podcasts, especially Disney podcasts.
He's off.
So, there's no stopping him once he started.
That's a pretty good impression of the pub singer you're doing there.
Thank you. Well, thank you very much. I have been practicing. But as I was saying, I think we've proved time and time again that if there's one thing that Disney podcasts really succeed at doing, it's doing rip-off of talent show ideas to get people to do things for us. So, with that in mind, if you think you've got the right kind of pipes, get in contact with us.
We'll make up some words to go along about being some Disney nerds doing a podcast, talking rubbish, and all you have to do is sing it.
Yeah, all you've got to do is read it.
So
pretty much in a timely fashion.
But there are a few things that aren't going to change with Series 3, like this one. We're in the Mouse's Head. Gentlemen, what are you drinking?
Well, we're recording this on a school night.
Yeah.
Luckily for me, we're recording it on a school night. Well, I'm not actually having to go into the office the next day. I'm actually doing my other role in life, which is being dad. So I'm looking after the little one tomorrow. It is. It's now become my favourite role, replacing the tiger role, which was my preferred role up until that point. So for that reason, I've got myself a really nice cold bottle of Pepsi Max Cherry, where I've added a lovely big dash of Disarano. So, chin chin.
Good chap. Mr. D.
I'm a designated driver tonight, I'm afraid.
I think we all are, actually.
I'm Mr. Boring tonight. I'm away from home, so I've got a cup of English breakfast tea. Oh, Jesus. That's how bad it is.
Found next to the hotel kettle.
Well, yeah, I didn't plan this very well. I could have run down to the hotel bar in my undies and my socks and got myself something to drink, but I thought, no.
I've got to be honest, I'm quite upset with Paul's dismissing of the English breakfast tea. Now he's decided he wants to remain part of the United Kingdom.
I would have been equally disgusted if it had been Scottish breakfast tea. It's the tea part, it's not the nationality that's the problem.
If we're going to be xenophobic and slightly racist about it, Scottish breakfast tea is tenants extra, isn't it?
Well, Scottish breakfast tea is probably deep fried, right? Just like the rest of the Scottish breakfast.
I am actually drinking some Scottish tea. I am drinking Glenmorangie.
Oh, lovely.
I looked around for something in the house that had some sort of connection with Florida, So what I've got is I've taken tap water and I've run it through our water filter and I've called it Dasani. and I've put some that we brought back from our lost holiday, some Minute Maid Drops lemonade. And it's, we call it squash, but apparently it's a flavoured water enhancer.
Yeah, well, I don't get this stuff. Right, I've seen that we've started doing it. I didn't even know. I've never seen squash in America anyway. But I guess what you're talking about is one of these little poddy things that you squeeze drops in. Yeah, I've seen them over here recently, and I can't get my head around it. We've had squash in bottles for years. What's the problem? Yeah. What do we need little drops of it for?
I've got a Minute Maid lemonade because I was quite often in the heat of Florida drinking frozen lemonades. But I just like the look of it. It's a flavoured water enhancer.
When you said you was looking for something that was Florida based, I was thinking maybe what you were going to do was add some toothpaste to a glass of water, mix that up. Fluoride.
No, I went down the Dasani route.
Very good.
Of taking tap water and bottling it.
Yeah.
If this was a Universal podcast, that would be Gilly Water.
That's true. Oh dear. Okay, so Scotland, etc., etc., etc. What would have happened to the UK pavilion? If
they didn't chop it up, wouldn't they?
Yeah. Would there have been a Scotland pavilion?
Yeah.
Because they just got
rid of the shortbread and just put hobnobs in.
Pretty much.
Some digestives.
Yeah.
They could have turned the bandstand into the Scottish pavilion. Just a little island by itself.
You could smash all the windows in the telephone box and just... I'd just spray it with wee.
And then deep fry it, of course.
Cue it up and let it go. Oh,
but as much as we could keep...
That's what we need.
Anyway.
We could keep slagging off our brethren up north, but rather than do that, let's do this. So we've been away for a while. It's been a while, as Stained once sung. But yeah, we've all been on, as our American cousins would say, vacation.
We have.
And we would say holidays, or as one idiot in my office says, hollybobs.
What's that all about?
Very much.
Or hollybobs. I've been on my Floridays. As other, whatever.
As someone else you want to punch in the face. So we've all been on various types of hollybobs. Gentlemen,
there's the show title. Season 3, hollybobs.
Only if we want to lose listeners. Jesus, we've got enough competition as it is without making them leave in droves just because of this.
I thought that was the objective.
All three of them will leave.
We should go back to being a niche again.
Yeah.
But
the listeners.
But yeah, you gentlemen have all been lucky enough to visit Orlando.
Yep.
And the surrounding areas. I've been lucky enough to also go and visit Paris and the Disney area there. So, who wants to start?
I'd like to hear about...
Let's do it in chronological order. That's a big word for me, but then I am on...
Chronological? Is that age?
Yeah, I am on... Well, I was thinking chronological as in the times who went there. And the first person to go was indeed Craig.
It was indeed, yes.
Well,
we went on hollybobs in the mid-August. And we stayed in Port Orleans Riverside. We had the dining plan for the first week, and then the second week we stayed in a villa near Haines City. Yeah, and I can't fault the dining plan. Anybody who moans about the dining plan needs a head feeling.
Right, well that's me.
You need your head feeling. I literally ate like a king for a week.
Oh, but see, the thing is, that's to me, that's always the thing with a dining plan. See, my issue with the dining plan, when we've talked about this kind of thing before, is exactly that. To get the best out of it, you are going to have to eat like a king. You are going to have to make sure every meal you have is during time on property. Now, I'm guessing, and you're going to fill me in a second, what you did for that first week staying at Port Orleans was you was on property for the entire week.
Yeah, the entire
There you
week.
go. So if you're doing that, it's perfect. I completely get why the dining plan works.
Yeah.
My problem with the dining plan is when people go for 2 or 3 weeks. Now, if I'm going to Orlando for 2 or 3 weeks, I'm not going to, as much as they'd love me to, I'm not going to spend my entire time there on Disney property. I am going to be going to other parks as well. And it's at that point.
That's why we stayed in the villa for the second week, to cleanse our colons.
I think the benefits of that, though, are if you are going to stay on site for 2 weeks but visit other parks, you use those other park days to bring up your your double dining credit.
Yes.
And eat in the really posh places.
That's right.
So,
Good strategy.
that's kind of adding up, but yeah, it does mean you do eat in Disney restaurants.
We had breakfast with the princesses. We had dinner in Chef Mickey's, evening meal.
Yeah.
Where else did we eat? We Sci-Fi Diner, all places we'd never eaten before. Tony's, Town Square. The steak in there was to die for.
Because you were staying on property, did you find it actually quite easy? Were you still getting the reservations 60 days in advance? Or did you find that even when you were on property, you could actually still get reservations and just change your mind as to where you wanted to be?
Well, we booked up the 180 days and plus 10, isn't it?
Yeah.
So for that, on that first morning, 180 days out, we literally had everything planned out and we booked them. And we stayed to it. We didn't deviate.
Yeah, that's my major bugbear with everything, including the fast passes.
But we'll come to that we'll come to that a bit later on, because I think I can see where this show's going to go with regards to that. So,
Just while we're on the dining plan, though, we did change quite a few things when we were there, and we didn't have any problem getting reservations or delaying reservations. It was never a problem. But we did go a little bit later. We were there really from the 29th of August through until the 16th of September. Yeah. And that is, if you look at touring plans, that is the least crowded time of the year. It didn't look like it didn't feel like it. But when you turned up at places, or when you looked at queues on rides, you could see that it was quiet.
Yeah. So there were 4 of you, Craig, weren't there?
You,
your wife, and your 2 girls.
Yeah.
So, how old are your girls?
10 and 5.
Excellent. They enjoyed every minute of it.
Our Eve was a bit miffed that she was an adult, so she kept having panic attacks on the dining plan because she wanted the kids menu.
Yeah.
But the cast members were able to reassure her she could have kids stuff, but it had to be of an adult portion. It's unbelievable, isn't it? A 10-year-old is an adult.
Yeah.
And, but they loved it. Yeah. The whole holiday was fabulous.
Excellent. Who did you fly with?
Thomas Cook.
Yeah.
Or Thomas Cook. Depends which way you.
Was that the Dreamliner?
No, it was an A330. It was rubbish. I had to sit at a 45-degree angle in my seat on the way out. So I ended up in Orlando with bed sores.
Can we just point out, for anyone that has been unfortunate enough to have never met the man, the myth, the legend that is Mr. Craig Lucas, that he is 7'6".
Yeah.
So, when we're talking about this kind of thing, it's his own bloody fault. Let's just make that apparent, yeah?
That is correct. She had to go and get me the fat strap.
7'6" and not a basketball player. There's a reason you're a train driver. It's because it's got the horsepower to move you.
Yes, exactly.
And the headroom.
The headroom, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. So you flew out to Thomas Cook, then straight into the Port Orleans Riverside for I saw your photographs. Were you in one of the themed rooms as well?
We were in a themed room. We upgraded, and the girls, we didn't tell them, and they were blown away.
Oh, you upgraded yourself. You didn't get an upgrade.
No, we paid to be extra.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was fabulous. But what I will say is the rooms are exactly the same as what you'd get in a motel on International Drive.
Yeah,
they're just better decorated.
Beds and a shower.
Yeah. So, what was the actual theme of these rooms?
It was Princess and the Frog, and
Makes sense.
and the princesses basically, and all the princesses were represented, and the magic carpet was on the floor. There was pictures of all the princesses around the room. Then above every bed was a LED firework display.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a lovely room. I mean, one thing that they did, our Eve bought an Olaf doll or plush on the first day and spilled a strawberry all down it. Got strawberry juice all down them. And she left them in the room, and one of the cleaners swapped them out for a brand new one.
That's amazing.
Excellent.
You know,
That's really good.
that's phenomenal, isn't it?
Yeah.
The new one had its left foot hanging off and stank of damp. But apart from that, we were made up.
It's made in China.
And the kid in the room next to you had their Olaf doll replaced with one with strawberry stains down it.
Yeah.
And it's a shame because it would have made such a good Halloween. Tarzan's back in. It would have made a really good Halloween item,
Yeah.
wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Bloody
Murdered Olaf, yeah.
I think you've hit on something there, though. The kid that got the strawberry Olaf, they're the parents that didn't tip the maid about his cheating.
True. So that was a week.
Yeah.
Did you have car hire for that week as well, or did you rely on Disney Transport?
No, we had car hire. We took advantage of the free parking for the Disney parks for that week, which more than paid for over half of the car hire. We used Alamo Brits website.
What made you use the actual car? Just because you had it and you wanted to drive in America, as opposed to the buses, or did you find
He hired a tank.
Yeah, well, we got a 7-seater actually. Yeah, it was a house on wheels, but purely because when you're coming out of the parks and you're in that crowd, I just couldn't be bothered with queuing up to get on the buses. You know, we knew where our car was. We knew
In the car park.
exactly, and we could just go and get it, and boom, we were back in the room. Although Disney property is like a great big maze.
Yeah.
And I did spend many a happy hour driving around with tears running down. Lost.
One asleep wife, two asleep children.
Yeah.
Whitesnake's Here I Go Again on my own playing.
Very quietly.
We used Alamo Brits website, and we did the fast pass for it. So you walk off the airplane and you just go and pick your car up. You don't go and have to check in or anything like that and listen to all the bull of the upsell. So you're straight out the airport. And like I say, the parking was free for that week, $17 a day saved.
And Thomas Cook are into Orlando, or was it into Sanford?
Into Orlando, yeah.
Okay.
The flight itself wasn't it was a lovely flight, it was nice, but I just had issues. I paid extra for the legroom seat, and it was narrower than all the other seats on the plane. So my childbearing hips couldn't fit in. And every time I moved my left arse cheek, I turned the light on and called for the attendant.
Really did change the picture on that button.
Yeah.
And the second week, so you were all Disney parks the first week. You stayed.
Yeah.
Because you were on Disney property, you did all the Disney parks that first week.
Yeah. We did half a day at Animal Kingdom because that's all it merits. It's just crap, but...
Poor Animal Kingdom.
No, it is. I'm not being funny. I can't wait for Avatar Land.
It's like Animal Kingdom is the red-headed stepchild of Disney parks, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah, totally. It's got 2 rides and an exit.
No.
And they're the best bits.
No. They're doing it down.
The thing is, I agree. I mean, I love the theming of Animal Kingdom. I think it's a great-looking park.
It is.
Yeah.
But you know what? Animal Kingdom is a little bit like a supermodel, isn't it? Like, it looks stunning. And then, unfortunately, you start to try and unravel what's inside and realise it's empty.
It does need more. There's no doubt about it. It does need more, and it's going to get more. It's going to get the nighttime show, which it needs.
Yeah, but it's also getting bloody Avatar.
Yeah, and it's getting Avatar, which it doesn't need.
I can't wait to see Avatar, though. After seeing the film, I think Avatar Land will be stunning.
Oh,
I
it's
think it'll
going
be
to look
stunning,
great.
but it's based on a pants film.
Yeah, in Imagineers we trust,
But not really.
Yeah, but
Not on this one.
But we step back and go, really? Pandora?
I think if the second film bombs, it's going to be something else.
You know what they should have had instead of Avatar Land?
Harry Potter Land.
Hat Banatar Land. Well, I don't know what attraction you'd have put in there. Just one thing around, Lovers a Battlefield or whatever. But, why not? It's going to be as well remembered in 20 years' time. I think we say that now, Avatar 2 and 3 and 4 could make $50 billion at the box office. But, at the moment, they've really got to do something. Anyway, we could talk about that all night, so let's not bother.
So the second week?
Yeah, second week we were in a villa. So straight away we checked into the villa and then checked straight out and went and stayed at Universal for a night.
Was that deliberate, or is there an element of sarcasm and disappointment?
We were not disappointed by the villa. It was a nice villa, but it wasn't Disney.
Okay.
So as you walked into the villa, you were like, my bed hasn't been... Where's me towels made into the shape of animals? It just wasn't Disney.
I can teach you how to make a chicken out of some towels.
Well, yeah, we'll put it in the post and we'll do it. And
I'll send some instructions.
Disney every day in our house. But we stayed in Universal to get advantage of the early check-in and all that to get to the new Harry Potter land.
Yep.
Which was fabulous, but also underwhelming.
So for anyone that's not seen the posts that were on, and you should have done anyway. If you listen to this show, you should be following us on social media. But in case you're not,
we didn't do that at the start. Never mind. It's Series 3.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah,
you know where we are.
Yeah, we're here. You listen to us. And if you're not listening to us, what are you doing?
If you're still listening to us, you know where to find us. If you've got that sort of stamina,
or how to get rid of us. So for those who didn't see, Mr. Lucas described, and if I'm quoting you wrong, please correct me because I'm paraphrasing here. But you described Diagon Alley as one of the best shopping centres you've ever seen.
Yeah, it was the best themed Walmart I've ever been in. And the Malibis hate me for it. I've been disowned at UUOP, but I don't care. The ride itself is a bastardised version of Spider-Man, The Mummy, and Transformers. So you go on a roller coaster to a great big screen, you see a bit of stuff, then you go on a roller coaster to another screen, you see a bit of stuff. It's a fabulous ride, and at the time...
All whilst having to wear 3D glasses.
Yeah, so you're trying to keep your glasses on your face. And it's a fabulous ride. It's not the best ride. At the time I said it was the best ride in Orlando, but I've slept since then. It's a good ride. Certainly not an ET.
Greg, didn't you think that we didn't watch any videos or anything like that before we went.
Yeah.
But when we were waiting in the queue, you got all these warnings about this is a high-speed roller coaster.
Yeah.
Don't go on it if you've got a neck injury or an ingrown toenail or anything. It's going to be really dangerous. Yeah. And then you get on it, and if they hadn't told me that, I would have probably been really happy with the ride because it is a great ride and it is really clever. But the roller coaster bits that there are, it isn't really a roller coaster. There isn't enough of a roller coaster.
No,
so,
it's not.
To some extent, I thought they shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah.
I don't understand why you walk through the bank, you go down in a lift, and then you walk up 3 flights of stairs.
Yeah, that's the hydrolator syndrome, I think.
Well, what if you're disabled and you're in a wheelchair and you go down in a lift? Did he put you in another lift?
He disapparates straight out of the ride. They've got that covered.
Just messing with your head. And because we got in early, we were almost herded through, so you didn't get to appreciate any of the fantastic theming. And it's phenomenal. Diagon Alley is phenomenal, but it's just shops. It's just people in wizard hats trying to sell you crap.
Yeah.
Stuff that when you get home, you'll sell at the car boot sale for 50p and someone will snarl at you for buying it off you.
Sounds a little bit like going to Morocco, but probably not as well, probably better themed than Morocco.
No one was buying anything in the shops. I walked in all the shops and people were taking pictures of the merchandise. They weren't buying anything.
See, this is what I found when we went to Hogsmeade. When we first went to Hogsmeade, and that was about 4 or 5 months after it opened. And, I mean, we did come back with stuff. We like Harry Potter, so I'm still staring at an unopened bottle of pumpkin juice from 2010.
The mould.
A box. I mean, it's never been opened. It's probably still okay, to be fair, but I'm not touching it.
Just I know in that. We good.
Yeah, maybe
It's fizzy now.
On the next show. That would get me drunk. We've still got our everlasting, our every flavour beans. We had a chocolate frog. That is one of the things we actually ate. And to be honest, for a $10 bit of chocolate, it was cack. But you're not paying for the stuff because of the quality of it. You're paying for the stuff because it is what it is. Mm-hmm. And it is merchandise as shift because you're fans of the film. You want to have, the drink they have in the film. You want to have the beans. You want to have the chocolate frog and the 3D card that comes with it. The stuff like you see in the film. You do want to buy the wands. Yeah. But, so as much as you buy stuff like that, at the same time, we took pictures of that stuff. We took pictures of stuff that we wouldn't dream of buying, like golden snitches and the book thing, the bitey growly book thing.
Wizard's robes, which
you
buy them to wear around Hogsmeade, or you buy them because you might have a fancy dress party to go to at some point.
Absolutely, and of course they had the wizard sleeves as well, but that's something else to talk about. And it's a little bit like, I mean, again, when I was there, and The Simpsons had not long opened, and I almost bought a Quickie Mart shirt. And I was going to buy it, and I can't remember, it was about $50, $60, whatever it was. And I was just, I was like, oh, wow, this is great, going to go and buy it. And he said to me, in real life, when are you going to wear that? Yeah. And I thought, she's got a point, Yeah. And I love those robes. Those robes, especially like the deluxe ones, are really good. They're fairly well made. I can just see you
walking around West Ham in your Harry Potter robe.
I've walked around there in worse, mate. And putting more makeup on as well. But again,
it's
like
astounding.
With those, it's an expensive bit of clothing that you're probably never going to wear again. If you buy like a T-shirt or something like that, you're probably going to wear that. I've got a Harry Potter T-shirt, which I wear every now and again. But I've worn that. It's probably 100 more times than I would have done if I bought the gown. So that's the thing. Like the stuff isn't always terribly made or anything like that. But it's a bit expensive for what it is, and it's just not that practical. So it's more the novelty of seeing it. But if they're not turning that into sales, that is a worry.
There does seem to be a lot of people buying the interactive ones.
That's just what I was going to ask.
Well,
is that working?
Yeah, the problem we were out with some friends of ours who Donna occasionally listens to the podcast. But
hi, Donna.
Hi, Donna. But they, their daughter went through the same age as our eldest, 7 years old. Went through the Ollivander's shop and interactive, and then came out the other side and picked a wand and paid for it. And at no point did the assistant say, "Are you sure you want this one and not the cheaper one?" So she paid the full whack for the interactive one and came out and showed it to my daughter. And my daughter went, "Oh, that's interactive, don't you?" "Is it really? Wow. What can I do with it?" "Well, you wave it at a window and stuff happens." "Okay." Didn't do any of it. Eventually took it back into the shop and said, "Can I have the non-interactive one and $10 back, please?"
It's a stick with a battery in it.
It isn't. It's not battery operated.
All right.
All it is apparently is a infrared reflective tip to it, and some sensors and cameras in the window that show it. So I've actually got one of the Chimera ones the battery operated that I can program them as a remote control, so I can actually operate my telly from them.
Yep.
Turn the volume up by twisting it and turning it down by flicking it and things like that. So that's really quite cool. And that is a lot more interactive than a wand that's identical, with the exception of it's got a small reflective tip to it.
One thing I gotta say though, did you guys do the show in Orlando?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crap.
Well, I gotta say, I mean, I suppose it depends, because I know there's 3 different ones, but we only did it once, and the guy that did it was amazing. I thought he was absolutely fantastic.
The fella we had whispered.
No, this guy, I mean, he was definitely a professional actor. This wasn't just like a cast member that they've trained up.
Yeah.
This guy was amazing. I mean, it was only a little show, and it lasted about 5 minutes or something like that, but it was really, really good.
Yeah.
So is this like is this show like what they had in Hogsmeade, where
it's exactly the same?
Is that same? Okay.
The shelf wobbles, something breaks.
See, I like that. I thought
we
that
picked
was really
two
cool.
balloon heads wearing Harry Potter gear and had them at the front. And my girls were there like that, pickles, and I was so relieved that they didn't pick them, because I was not buying them. $60 plastic stick.
Oh, I got suckered.
Yeah.
Good lad.
So that's pretty much what Craig got up to 2 weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks, 3 weeks, 2 weeks.
Two,
yeah. And then I believe Mr. Boniface, were you next?
We were, yeah. So we flew out British Airways.
Oh.
Someone's getting paid the big bucks.
Oh.
Yeah.
Air miles.
I rather, well, half of it was air miles, but I rather hoped, that they would treat their Gold Executive Club members nicely. But BA have a really, really weird policy where Executive Club members are only allowed one guest in the lounges. So we turned up at Gatwick Airport on the morning, and I thought, well, look, I'm on holiday. Any chance you could let myself, my wife, and my 2 children into the lounge? No.
Who did you pick then?
No. Sorry, we're expecting. I looked in. The lounge was empty. We're expecting a few international transfer flights coming in. We'll be very busy soon, so no. So, okay, that was the first lounge. So I went to the Standard Galleries lounge, the everyone else lounge, and I asked. Looked in, empty. Nope, sorry, you and 1 guest. Really? So I can take my wife in, she can go and use the toilet and have some free drinks. Can you look after my children for me, please? She went to mumbled something, at which point I started having a hissy fit at that time in the morning. I went, well, in that case, I'm flying Star Alliance from now on, which didn't help. The girl behind the counter went, well, you're more than welcome to do that, sir. She was quite calm about it. But my wife dragged me off, and luckily, my wife, being in the holiday trade, knows some people who know some people. We walked down to the standard number 1 lounge, and my wife just opened her mouth and went, yes, so-and-so from some company said I could just come in and have a look around. Would you like to see my business card? And the girl behind this went, yeah, come in, all 4 of you. In you come, sit down, have a bite to eat, have some drink. It's like, so I'm an Executive Club Gold member doing the do you know who I am bit, and get spurned by British Airways, and my wife walks up and goes, can we just come in and have a look around? And they go, yes.
Man, it sounds like they're treating you like a bell-end member.
Yeah. There's a big black mark against my name whenever it comes up on the tickets. Don't let him anywhere.
And let me point out, that's not because that's what I think of you, because I definitely don't, but it's what they made you sound like.
Yeah.
I punched them in their face.
So it's like, thank you very much, BA. That's, I was less than impressed by that. But the number 1...
surprised.
Yeah, the number 1 lounge, very, very nice indeed. So we had a nice view. Got on the plane. World Traveller Plus.
Ooh.
Premium economy. Quite nice. Good flight out. Kids were behaved. Got to there. We were in a villa the whole 2 weeks. I know exactly where Craig's coming from, because previously we've done on-site for the entire 2 weeks, but we were out for 3 weeks this time in a villa.
I thought you meant Liverpool.
I know where he's coming from. I know Liverpool, yeah.
Ferry across the Mersey.
We'll stop talking about Beatles in a second.
I've never driven one. We picked up the car hire. Again, the car hire is something I end up doing with work quite a bit. So I've got a club card thing with Avis. Got to Avis, straight through, out the other side. My name's on a little LED board saying go to this space. I had booked a Ford Ranger or something, which is quite a small 4x4 little thing. But we got to the bay, and there's this, as Craig's described it, a house on wheels. Absolutely enormous Ford Explorer thing.
Ooh. Yeah,
didn't even need the key. All I had to do was get close to it, and it
just look at it.
Press the button. Yeah, look at it in a funny way, and it'd brake. Look at it normally, and it'd start for you, that sort of thing. So we didn't have a problem getting all of our suitcases in there, and to the villa, which belonged to a friend of mine on Facebook. So very nice, very clean. It's in the we were staying in the Lindfields area, which you can almost see. We had some friends out at the same time that I was saying, and they were staying out down the 27, and you can see how Orlando the whole 192 area has expanded as the resort has expanded, because you can see where some of the houses and villas are a bit 1980s as you get closer. They're building the newer places further out down the 27. But yeah, going down the Sherberth Road entrance, we were 5-10 minutes away from any of the parks.
Wow,
we were one of the only, we're the only villa I've ever stayed in where they advertise 10 minutes from the parks, and they actually mean it, as opposed to the 10 minutes from the bottom of World Drive plus the extra half an hour to get there that we're not telling you about. So we did that. I don't know. I'm not admitting to anything, but if I were to stay there again, what I would go and get is off of eBay some sort of diamond parking pass.
Ooh.
I personally didn't have one, but I really would have had one if I had the chance to not be fraudulent.
Diamond parking pass?
Yeah, it's a little parking pass you get through booking your vacation through the AAA, the American or something or other, I don't know. And you put it on your dashboard, and as you go through the gates, there's a blue marker, and it's in pretty much every Disney resort. It's the next parking down from the disabled parking. So there wasn't anywhere we would have parked if we'd have had a pass like that.
Do you still have to pay for parking with one of us?
You still have to pay for parking, yes.
Right. Just gets you preferential.
It would just get you preferential parking a little bit closer to the front gate, so we didn't have to.
Right.
So you wouldn't have had to get on a tram if you had a parking pass like that.
Yeah, so I mean, basically what you're saying is that your holiday would have been improved had you been able to have accessed one of these things
a bit closer to the
if they were
easily available
attainable,
on eBay.
Or anywhere at all.
But obviously that would be classified almost as fraudulent if you were to buy it and not have got your holiday through and etc., not be a member of the AA, because they are non-transferable.
And of course, just to point out as well, other ways of parking are available. I know we wanted to get rid of this catchphrase, but I think there are certain times when our lawyers are saying that we have a legal right to say that. Good. Okay. Well, that's interesting for people to know if they're ever in that situation.
Again, the Disney parks. Where to start? New Fantasyland.
Fantastic.
Absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
There were little bits that I was a bit confused about, and that threw me a little bit. In one instance, we queued for nearly an hour and a half for what I thought was going to be the Little Mermaid ride, because I've been on the one at Disney's California Adventure. And we got all the way through, and it was actually a meet and greet with Ariel.
We walked on. We just walked into it.
Oh, yeah. I didn't realise it was the next door down. We spent an hour and a half in a queue to meet and greet Ariel, and then walked onto the Ariel ride next to it.
You think that's bad? Someone waited an hour and a half to meet me at Disneyland Paris. That's not true.
For most of the time we were trying to book, because we weren't staying on site, we could only start booking 30 days in advance for all our fast passes.
Yeah. Somebody wrapping the Christmas presents.
I'm just wrapping up a shepherd's pie that I cooked today and put it in the fridge. It doesn't go off.
Because we could only book 30 days out, every single fast pass that we would have actually wanted
was gone.
Yeah. We couldn't get Anna and Elsa. We couldn't get Mine Train. We could barely get Big Thunder Mountain.
So with that in mind, and I mean, also, Mr. Dolan, you can jump in here. I feel like a referee in a way, because I'm completely departed from this because I've not experienced it, and unfortunately, financial reasons means it's not going to be for a while. But obviously, we're going to talk about the elephant in the room known as Fast Pass Plus. Now, on a personal level, as a dad with a very young child who at this moment in time, the only thing that matters in her life is probably Mickey Mouse and Olaf, he's not obsessed with Anna and Elsa yet. But looking at things from an outside point of view, I would be devastated if I had to turn around to my daughter and turn around to her and say that I'm really sorry, we're here and I know you can see them, but we're not actually able to meet them. So what I wanted to ask you, Paul, was with that in mind and not being able to get the fast passes, were you still able to do the meet and greet with Anna and Elsa?
Dum, dum, dum. That's almost a professional segue that I could have queued you up for, but didn't. No. We were... On one of the times we were walking past and we kept coming back to go on the Mine Train, and it was tech a lot of the time we were there. And we were walking past one day, and both of my girls are Frozen fanatics. So I had the younger one dressed as Anna, the younger sister, in her Anna dress, and the older one dressed as Elsa. And we were walking past the Mine Train going, oh, is it open now? Is it open now? And one of the cast members, whose name escapes me, but I've written it down and I've got to write a letter of thanks to him and even mention him in the show notes if I can find a bit of paper I wrote it on. Actually started talking to us and said, no, it's down at the moment, we have no idea how long it is. And started talking to my girls. And he started talking to them as Anna and Elsa. So he said, have you met them yet? They're friends of mine. And they went, no, we haven't. But we didn't think anything further of it. And we went, well, how long do you think it will be? Well, I don't know, and I can't even tell you. I've been told, management say I cannot give you a time because then you'll be sitting here waiting for half an hour and we get sued for you waiting and stuff like that. So we walked off. And then we heard someone running up behind us and just walking. So I turned around and went, oh, hello. He went, yeah, I was just walking this way to check something out. And he looked at the time, and it was something like 85 minutes in the queue time. He went, hang on a minute. And he walked up to the cast member on the door, and he just checked something with her. And he had some some in-park fast passes that can be used for any ride. And he just signed it, and he just went, they're supposed to be used for rides. Just let me check. So he had to check with the cast member on the Anna and Elsa front desk. Whispered something to her, at which point he gave the cards to us, and she whisked us straight in, and our girls got to see Anna and Elsa.
Beautiful.
Excellent.
And it was like, wow, okay, thanks. I wasn't expecting, we weren't expecting that. We didn't ask for it. Was it because I had a Disafterdark t-shirt on at the time?
Of course.
Yeah. Ego would like to say possibly yes, but I think that's
big
just
sweaty armpits.
You know the one you've seen the photograph.
You mean it's not sorry for you?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you're one of those guys.
It was a pity fast pass.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, I really enjoyed Disney Brit, but I feel sorry for this guy on his crappy podcast.
Just to get rid of these guys. Go away. So they got in to see them, and that made their day, so that was great.
So a bit of Disney magic.
Yeah. But that made me think more about the Fast Pass Plus system. I mean, I don't like it to start with, anyway. I think, obviously, there's a marketing ploy that if you want to stay on site, you get 60 days. And as Craig's view, I can see this going down the route of, yes, but if you're staying in a deluxe resort, you get 6 fast passes. If you're staying in a moderate, you get 4, and if you're staying, down the low end, you might just get the 3 at 60 days. But if you're staying on site, 30 days, and it's just the 3 of them. I can see it going that route if they're not going to start charging for an extra 3.
I really do think you can go on the Tour and Plan website and plan out your entire day, right?
Yep.
Without using any fast pass, you can have your day mapped out for you.
Yeah.
All Disney have to do is take that and transfer it over to FastPass and put a price on it.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, I wouldn't pay for it every day, but I would pay for it certainly on the first day of the holiday. Yeah. Magic Kingdom, FastPass Plus, boom.
Yeah, as well as the 30-day debacle that meant I couldn't get the fast passes I wanted, which also meant that nor could anyone else who wasn't staying on site. So Big Thunder Mountain had a fast pass queue for it. Yeah. In Epcot.
Queuing to get on the Spaceship Earth.
Yeah, there's a queue to get on Spaceship Earth because of everyone who had to book at 30 days had to get a fast pass for that because Soarin' was gone.
Yeah.
And it added queues where queues never used to be. But not only that, the app doesn't, especially on my iPhone. I don't like carrying my iPhone in the parks anyway. I use a proper camera, and I want to leave my phone at home. But I had to carry it around with me, which is tricky because it's not waterproof, and I wanted to go on into water rides in any of the parks. So, okay, got to carry my phone around with me, fine. I put it in my pocket. I booked 3 fast passes for the day. It doesn't tie in with your calendars and your alerts. So it doesn't actually tell you, 15 minutes in advance of your fast pass time coming up.
It doesn't even give you a notification.
No.
Oh, God. What was that?
Someone's fallen down the stairs.
Paul, are you okay?
I'm fine. I'm still here.
Other Paul, are you okay?
No, I'm okay.
Humpty Dumpty's still on his wall.
Yeah.
He spilled his sweet tea.
So the next natural step should be that the app will give you alerts.
Yeah.
Because what I liked about the old system, okay, it might not be very green and eco-friendly to keep giving these bits of cardboard away, but you get a bit of cardboard with a time on it, and that's a reminder. And then whenever you get your pockets out, or you had your little fast pass plastic thing on your lanyard with your pins on it, you get those, and you look at them, you go, yep, I've got that one at 2 o'clock, that one at 3 o'clock, and that one at 4 o'clock, whatever. Now there's no reminders. So the amount of fast passes that I think I booked, but then I missed by not turning up for the slot because I didn't get a reminder. And then I go, I'm sure I was due on Big Thunder Mountain at 3 o'clock. Just let me check. Oh, damn, yeah, missed it. Never mind. So I've missed my slot, and that's wasted a fast pass that someone else could have had. And the same thing happens if you decide to go, actually, this part's rammed. I can't get any rides I want to go on. Should we just, and it's tipping down with rain. Should we just go home? Yeah, damn. Lost it. That's 2 or 3 fast passes that someone else could have had. And now, you used to, with the bit of cardboard, you could make a bit of Disney magic yourself, like that cast member did for us. On the way out, I've got a fast pass for Rock and Roller Coaster, and I'm not going to use it. Here you go. Help yourself.
And we had that. I remember the last time we went there, Toy Story Mania. I think we had fast passes for, I don't know, I think, that time of the day as well. Like, we got in there at Park Opening, pretty much, and we still couldn't get a pass before 8 o'clock. And at some point, about 2 in the afternoon or something like that, somebody said, oh, so if you're interested, we're leaving the park now. We've got fast passes for Toy Story at 4 o'clock if you want to have them. Yeah. So we then paid it forward. We then found someone who didn't have fast passes for Toy Story at all and gave the, our tickets. Yeah. So, you're able to pay it forward.
Yeah, a little bit of Disney magic for someone, which you can make it yourself. But
that's right.
What you're going to do now, just stand around at the gate of Toy Story Mania or Rock and Roller Coaster and go, look, I've got this on my app. I'm just about to cancel it. If you're quick, you might be able to book it because I've cancelled it. Unless, two iPhones with some sort of bump app that just shuffle FastPass from one person to another, which is the next step up. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of the current FastPass Plus methodology, and I think they've made a complete pig's ear of it.
Now, Craig, you think the complete opposite?
I loved it. I absolutely loved it. My iPhone 5, we didn't take a camera on holiday. We just took the phones. When you've got your 3G disabled and you're just running off the Wi-Fi, the phone keeps its charge literally all day. So we were coming out of the parks at 10 o'clock at night with 70% charging. So we were taking photographs with it. I was checking the fast passes with it. The problem starts once you've used your 3 fast passes, and then you have to go and queue up at the booths, which have got a 20-minute wait just to go and use a booth to select a new fast pass. That's where the problem starts. But for us, I mean, the day we had the Disafterdark meetup, we got our 3 fast passes at the start of the day all out the way. We did 7 fast passes that day.
Hang on, can I just interrupt a second? So there was a Disafterdark meetup.
Yes.
And I wasn't there.
Well, we bumped into each other. There. Just me and Craig, really.
We had our t-shirts on.
Yeah.
No, I did see some pictures, which was very good, and I wasn't jealous at all.
But just a question though, Craig. Did anyone actually say anything about your t-shirt and recognise it?
No.
I don't think we've got any listeners, other than I bumped into Caitlin.
Yeah, I kept trying to bump into Caitlin, but she's like the shout out for Caitlin. Woo! But she's here, she's there, she's everywhere. I'm working in Port Orleans, Riverside. Oh, right, okay, I might bump into you there. I'm on the front gate at Magic Kingdom. What are you?
Special.
Special, yeah.
Disney Special Forces.
Yeah, SAS.
So, yeah, that was the Disney parks. The new Fantasyland, brilliant. Disney's Hollywood Studios with its extra Frozen pieces. Again, going at the time of year we did, which was the end of the summer holidays, it was still absolutely heaving.
Oh, it was so busy.
Again, there's some work needing done there. I'm not surprised they've closed the backlot tour now. Look forward to what's coming there.
We went to go on that, and we changed our minds because I needed a poo.
I got picked as the man who cleaned the boat.
Oh.
I cleaned the boat.
I cleaned the boat for you. Yeah. Yes, I cleaned the boat for you. Real good, Messer. That's going to get me in trouble. That was
Wax on, wax off.
I was going to say, where are we at now? What time are we at now?
Yeah.
Is it time to end this episode and carry this conversation on in a following one, or we've still got some time?
I can still see that we've got some time at the moment.
Okay, cool. I was just looking at a good time to maybe
get out
break this. No, break it. I think well, Mr. Dolan's not starting. I'm not starting.
No, we've got you two to come. I just wanted one more. The actual highlight of our 3-week vacation.
Was it a yellow one, or?
It was nice. It was a bright yellow one. No, Kennedy Space Centre.
Oh.
I was absolutely so impressed with the place. I didn't expect to be. I expected it to be, oh look, it's some rockets and it's yeehaw.
It's a stick with a reflective thing on the end.
Yeah, that's it. oh look, it's a shuttle. Yeah, fair
it's
enough.
A shuttle.
But from the time we turned up, it was so relaxed, and the girls just were absolutely enthralled by everything from even a kid's playground with NASA badges and things. And in the Atlantis section, there's a little sort of climb in and out of an international space station where they spent hours just playing with the simulators and robot arms and climbing in and out of stuff. Absolutely brilliant, really relaxed day out. So yeah, as much as we like Disney and Universal, if you are going to Orlando, I would thoroughly recommend Kennedy Space Centre.
And of course, no sea creatures are harmed in the making of it.
No.
Also, what interests me about the Space Centre, did you actually get to meet Carl or Susan at all? Were they there? Or
I'm completely lost now.
it's going to be a joke that's understood by our Australian listeners, not
Kennedy.
anymore.
Yeah. Neighbours, dum-dum, everybody.
Carl Kennedy's the man.
He is the man.
Susan Kennedy's not bad either. But
it's not that difficult to understand. It's not as if it's rocket science, you know.
Oh.
You see, I'd have got it if you're going down the Nigel Kennedy route.
Yeah.
Being a
yeah,
West
but
Ham
come on,
fan.
that is. No, he wasn't. He was Aston Villa.
Oh, was he all right?
Same
I knew
colours,
it was
wrong
Burgundy.
club.
Yeah.
Sarah Kennedy. What about Sarah Kennedy?
Sarah Kennedy.
Yeah.
Wrestling fans, Ken Kennedy.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. So that I was very impressed. But yeah, we did everything else from SeaWorld to.
Did you do SeaWorld, did you?
Yeah.
We didn't do it.
I decided to hold my
Splitter.
I decided to hold my opinion of the whole blackfish thing and give it the benefit of the doubt for the eco message and whatever goes on. And again, very relaxed, very good day. It was bloody hot that day though.
Yeah. Did you do the splash zone?
Nah.
Chicken.
I wasn't carrying the GoPro at the time. I had about 1,500 quid's worth of camera equipment on me. There was no way I was going even near that. But I like, again, give it the rah-rah. Stand up if you're a soldier. Everyone gives you a clap.
Did they still have the shows like they used to, or are they not?
Yeah, there's a lot of shows, a lot of whales jumping about.
Okay.
Some dolphins jumping about. No Clyde and Seymour at the moment. I know.
Do you think he took them out the back and just shot them?
They're not horses.
Fed them to the whales. See, we do feed them properly. We give them the food they're after, like seals and stuff. So yeah, I was very impressed with Kennedy. I recommend that. So in a nutshell, that was my 3 weeks. But I'm sure over the next coming weeks we'll ramble more on about what we found works and what we'll do. Hints and tips and all that malarkey.
Yeah.
Did you have barbecues?
No, weren't allowed them in our villa.
Oh, we had a little barbecue, but we didn't risk it.
We weren't allowed them in our villa at all. We could have rented a gas barbecue and they would have delivered it and then taken it away afterwards.
That's a bit dramatic, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like,
I don't know. I think that's quite good.
Really?
Would they clean it though?
Apparently, would have done.
Well, that's all right then. Yeah.
But even
I don't really shit it up.
Yeah. But it's like I got to the stage where it's like I'm on holiday. I don't actually want to cook. I like barbecues and everything, but I didn't even make the wife cook for me.
Wow.
We had a villa. We didn't actually use the oven once. I think we used the toaster for a breakfast one morning, and that's about it.
What was the best meal you had then outside of the park?
Outside of the parks. Oh, down the 192, there was something called the Texas Roadhouse, Texas Smokehouse.
Yeah, Texas Roadhouse, yeah, I know.
That was the best. I think that's the one that's got its own sort of butchery. And as you walk in, there's slabs of raw meat on a fridge in front of you. And yeah, you just walk in and say, I want that one. And they cook it to your order, and it was absolutely stunning. Best
How big was it?
I think I had a 12.
Oh.
And it's like, so would you like fries with that? Yeah.
Yeah,
of course. What do you reckon? Do you want any other side orders? Not really. Meat, potatoes.
Oh,
it's a British way.
It is. We had the wife. We went to the Bonefish Grill one night as well. And
what do they do?
It is primarily seafood.
They bone while they fish.
I can't be sarcastic, and I knew that one was coming. I thought I'd leave that one for you.
That's okay, thank you.
But that's again, we didn't really have a bad meal. Applebee's is a bit naff on the 1 and 2, and I didn't really get on too well with Cracker Barrel.
We didn't even do the Ponderosa this year, and I swear by the Ponderosa.
I'll tell you what we did walk into. We went to one night we were driving around trying to find somewhere we could actually get into at the time of getting out the park that we didn't have a 3/4 an hour wait for a table. And we found this little place called Sweet Tomatoes.
Tomatoes?
We walked in, it's a buffet. We sat down. We paid for our buffet for all of us. Very, very reasonable. We sat down, nice service. Picked up our plates, walked up and down. I didn't realise it's a bloody vegetarian restaurant. My wife loved it. She was up and down with the salads. She's gluten-free anyway, so she was up and down with the salads and everything she could get, and some rice and some
grass
stuff. The kids were loving it because there was ice cream on tap for them. And I managed to find some clam chowder that had bacon in it and some dried bacon bits you put on a salad.
Which, of course, are actually soy.
Yeah.
So they get away with it. Oh,
yeah.
God, that's actually the worst. This is off topic, but talking about bad meals and stuff, the worst meal I ever had was going to an Indian restaurant at a time when I was still allergic to yogurt. So it meant my choices were already very limited in what I could have because of sauces. And then it was a vegetarian Indian restaurant. Oh. I had all night long boiled rice and fried cheese. And I've never been able to touch it since. I can touch rice. I can eat rice, but I cannot eat fried cheddar anymore.
That's like going to a knocking shop and having a game of cards, isn't it?
That's the only kind of thing I do in a knocking shop. I don't know what else you do.
We have some American listeners. Would you like to describe that for you? Do you think knocking shop is a fairly international phrase?
It should be, and if not, Google it. Take yourself safe filter off. Just one thing. I don't know if any of you on this trip during your travels to City Walk would have eaten at Bubba Gump's Shrimp Company.
I did in October last year.
Well, good news, everybody, because as of the recording of this show, now when this is going out next week?
Sometime soon,
yeah. So
November, December.
We'll
this
just
is our Christmas show. Shalom.
Happy Hanukkah. We'll say for the sake of argument, it'll be going out early October. The 1st of October saw the actual opening of Bubba Gump Shrimp in London.
Oh, is it? Where?
I walked past it today to check out. It was actually there and not a mirage, and it was fully operational. Literally opened on the 1st of October. And there's no website. They're not taking reservations. It is simply walk-in.
Is it the same food at 3 times the price?
Well, pretty much. I had a quick look at the menu. Because the one thing Mrs. Soap Dish loves more than anything else is coconut shrimp. And I had to make sure that was on the menu because we're actually going to be going there this weekend. And sure enough, it was. Now, most of the stuff looked very familiar to me from what I've seen on the menus before, but without comparing with an actual menu in front of me, I can't say it's exactly the same. But it looked near as damn it. And if you've ever been to a TGI Fridays, or if you managed to get down to Planet Hollywood in London, you're looking at the same cost. That kind of thing. So it is what it is. But yes, the Bubba Gump Shrimp is now open in the UK. There you go.
That's a box of chocolates.
On that note,
Swedish Forrest Gump. I like it.
Oh dear.
Getting a Swedish massage from the Swedish Prime Minister.
There we go. Which will, someone will catch on with that joke eventually.
So hang on. So this is the end of episode 1, part 1.
Episode 1, part 1. Yeah. Something like that. Yes.
Like Star Wars.
Coming up in another soon episode, Paul D and Nick's trip reports, and then coming up in a show slightly further down, because I've now got another idea for a show, is having mentioned Happy Hanukkah, how come it's only Halloween and Christmas? Why aren't there any other festivals? And how would Disney celebrate with parades for any other festivals?
Does anyone want?
Mickey's not so Kwanzaa party, I think.
From the Swedish
And
Prime
now, a massage from the Swedish Prime Minister.
I'm looking for absolutely no characters in the parks because they've all gone on the Hajj or something.
It's an interesting way of looking at it, and that's for sure.
Oh dear. Right. Anyway.
I think he's not so scary. Bank holiday Monday parade.
Well, actually, saying that, St David's Day, don't they do a parade for St David's Day in Disneyland Paris?
Probably, yes.
We don't do anything for King George, but
St Patrick's Day, and I'm trying to think. There'd be loads, but that's a whole nother show.
Yeah, I like it.
We need some time to prepare for that, and we need some time to drink for that one.
Yes. In that case, join us in the next episode for Mr. D and Mr. Branch.
Yep.
Thank you very much for joining us for this new episode of the new series of the all new, exactly the same as any other podcast. Disafterdark. I play this bit now. It hasn't changed much, except I turn the volume down.
It does get better, by the way, people. Please stick with us.
The podcast that's nearly the same as all the others.
Insert end of show witty statement here.
Dead? Ring Arthur Sodgen of Prestatyn, the fastest funeral service in North Wales. We will get the deceased out of the house and down the chute within the hour. Free wine glasses with every certified stiff. Ring 0402 187 if you're about to snuff it, and our Fiat 850 will be at your door within 10 minutes. Also, Danish and Scandinavian books. See everything.
And now, a massage from the Swedish Prime Minister.
And we're out. Thank you very much. See you in a few weeks' time.
Bye-bye.